This episode of This Week in MMO is brought to you by The Crew. I don't have a full screen card to show you, so just go to gboffer.com/The Crew and get your MMO card TS action on. Sure. No intro music, no nothing.
I was waiting for you to rhyme that.
Hello.
Yay, episode 200!
Hello! What's up, everybody? Coming at you in Oculus VR. Nope, not happening. All right, what's up? It's episode 200 of This Week in MMO for August 28th, 2014. This already feels like a disaster. You can tell why. I'm not at the studio. I'm at the house. And it already feels really weird. I don't know about you guys, but I feel really weird.
It's alright, though, because the chat room's got the intro music on lock. Wub, wub,
yes.
wub, wub, wub.
Wub, wub, wubbity, wub, wub, wub. Joining us, the Noob Fridge, Mr. Troy Blackburn. How are you, sir?
Sadly, it is not my birthday this week. Sad face.
Sad.
I never did get any cake, Justin. What's up with that?
You didn't get cake.
I did not
You
get cake.
sent me the cake. How did you know?
You got that Metro.
I did get that Metro, and it is sexy, by the way.
I bought.
It is-
I was gonna ask you. Let's just start. Wait, I'm just gonna start with this. Remember, we were supposed to talk about MMOs, but let's talk about a non-MMO. Yeah, can you tell me about it for a second? Because I want to know about it. Because I purchased it, but I didn't get to download it yet.
It looks freaking fantastic, and not only did they make the initial improvements, the opening night, like within just a couple of hours, they had patched in another improvement with some of the ambient lighting and stuff coming in. So there's a lot more like light rays and stuff like that coming at you. I mean, dude, it looks like it came out like this is a brand spanking new game.
Now,
It
wait, are
looks
you playing? Are you playing
fantastic.
the 2033? Or are you playing
I'm
Last
starting
Light?
with 2033. I've played a little bit of 2033, and then I decided, well, I'm going to wait till Redux comes out. And then my birthday came along, and I got Redux. So it looks fantastic. I've never actually played Last Light myself, so I don't know how much of an improvement over that it is. But 2033 looks freaking fantastic. There's a big difference between the old 2033 and the Redux, even before they patched in all the extra lighting and all the flashiness that was super sexy. So man, it just looks fantastic.
So we'll move on. But does the 2033 Redux look better than the original Last Light?
I don't know. I've only seen bits and pieces of videos of Last Light, so I couldn't really compare myself looking at it on my own PC. But all I know is, compared to what 2033 was, it's worlds beyond that.
Okay.
There's so much better textures, and everything just looks so much better. Like I said, it looks like it looks like it would at least look as good as Last Light did when it first came out. So it doesn't look like, what year did 2033 come out?
All right.
2008, something like that.
All right.
It looks fantastic.
All right.
Thumbs up if you can get it.
Enough with your single player RPG talk, Noob Fridge. You got me so sidetracked I didn't even introduce JKK. I just totally was like Metro. Top.
Oh, and then there's Justin.
Oh, hello, Justin. Not eating cake.
Which I need to buy Metro now.
Yes,
Apparently.
you do.
If you didn't, there was a good deal on it on Steam. So
Yeah, I missed that.
oh,
I don't know if it's still up.
Steam. See if it's still up. It was like decent amount off.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think if you owned them, the original versions, you got, what was it, 50% off or something? It was crazy.
Something like
It was like,
that.
I remember looking at 2033 just by itself, and it was like $12 because I already owned 2033.
All right, let's talk about some MMOs. That's what we're here for, right? So I'm not in the studio, as you can tell. This is actually where it all started. This is the room where it all began, right here. I'm in the same room, except just facing a different way. But this was the tiny little room. That's my dining room. So I'm home today. Couldn't get to the studio. Some major accident or something. I don't know. I tried to get there, and it was just jam-packed. So I was like, nope, going back home. Gonna do the show from home. So no intro music, no nothing, because I'm sitting here with a webcam doing the show. So let's talk some MMO. Bad week to be, I don't know, not a very proud week to consider yourself a gamer. Let's put it that way.
No.
No, especially according to Gama Sutra and some other sites. Some other big sites just talking about how sad it's been this week for gamers.
So the first thing, I mean, the big news, man, I mean, this stuff scares the crap out of me, man. Like, so Kutra, who's a streamer, was streaming some CSGO on Twitch, and he got swatted. If you don't know what swatted means, it means the SWAT team, literally SWAT, guys in black with automatic weapons, bust through your door and put you down on the ground in cuffs. And it was all caught on video. So if you guys didn't see the video, it's pretty intense. It's on GameBreaker. It's still on the homepage. If you go down there, look for it, go watch it. It's pretty intense. It was all caught on video. That they come busting through the door. How many were like 8 of them?
Oh, there was a bunch, and they meant business when they came in too. And of course, they have to. They're the cops. As far as they know, there really is an active shooter.
Oh yeah,
or whatever it is that was reported. So they have to come in like that. You have to assume the worst if you're in their position. If you don't, that's how cops get killed.
Do we know are there any details whatsoever about what they were called for?
The last I heard, they had a call in for an active shooter in the area. That's all I heard. Now, how accurate that is, I don't know. That was some of the initial reports, and you know how social media is with initial reports. So, but that was the earliest I had heard.
I'm gonna assume it has to be something about probably an active shooter in the area, especially with the fact that they closed down all the local schools. So there was the feeling that there was a chance that there was somebody moving around with a weapon.
How is this like? I mean, when I was a kid, like the worst thing you did was like send a pizza to your friend's house to like prank them. It was like, oh, I didn't order a pizza. I guess it was a joke. That's because the only
way to call in was through your house phone, which they would know the number and be able to get to you.
But now it's like it's sending SWAT teams to people. Like the thing that scares me the most about this, like, man, you know what's gonna somebody's gonna get shot. Like somebody's gonna get shot. Yeah. At some point, something bad is going to happen, and somebody's going to get really hurt.
And what worries me also is if you watch the video, Kutra. I mean, he obeyed the police. You know, he filled their commands and everything, but he was grinning and smiling, and he wasn't taking it super serious.
No,
I mean,
he really wasn't.
Somewhere in his head, he knew he was innocent. There was nothing going on. But you can't be that lighthearted about that, because even the cop got in his face. What do you think so funny, son? Because the cop doesn't know right now.
He has no idea what's happening. If that kid's holding a gun or there's somebody in the next room with a gun, like he doesn't know what's happening.
Yeah, if you're the one getting swatted, you still have to take that serious. And in time, it will get sorted out what's going on, what's happening. But during that time, man, you can't be smiling and grinning and cheesing like that. That's some bad stuff going down, man.
Did anybody take responsibility for this? Because I know we're going to talk about some other stuff with some DDoS attacks and all this stuff, and there certain hacker groups that are taking responsibility for some of these things. Has anyone spoken up about the swatting?
I don't think anyone's come forth regarding the swatting at all.
They've got to do. They have got to start tracking these morons down, and there needs to be some freaking jail time served. This has got to stop. This is getting out of hand, and somebody is going to get hurt eventually. It's only a matter of time before something gets out of hand, and the streamer doesn't realize what's happening, and all of a sudden somebody's shot or somebody's hurt very seriously. This has to come to an end.
Yeah, so Burdock in chat has a really great example. He says some streamer actually thought he was getting robbed because he heard the commotion. Yeah. So he got out his shotgun against the SWAT team. He says somehow he lived and didn't get shot. But exactly, that's really like the bad news of what's going to happen here is something's going to go down, and somebody like that's going to pull out a shotgun, point it the wrong way completely by accident, and SWAT's not going to really wait.
Yeah,
and you know what else SWAT does? You want to know what else?
Nothing wrong. Yeah, if they come knocking in my door, I'm going to assume it's somebody coming in invading my home. I'm not going to assume I'm getting swatted. Why would I assume that? I'm not doing anything.
Live streaming a video game. Now the other thing. Now that's the other thing that scares me here is like on top of people getting hurt. SWAT don't give a shit if you have animals. You got a dog that starts barking at SWAT. Guess what? Your dog's probably going to die. Your dog's probably going to be dead. They're probably going to shoot the dog or do something to the dog to get the dog out of the way so they can keep moving through that house. They ain't going to mess
They'll eliminate the threat before it becomes a problem.
Exactly. Well, I don't know, man. This is just like, this makes me want to go home. I'm just getting off the internet. I'm just going to stop now. Episode 200, maybe we had a really good run. We did 200 episodes, and maybe we just call it quits right here, right now. I don't know.
Episode 2 is going to end with the police storming into you right behind you.
Oh, God, please don't give anybody any ideas. Seriously. Like, I mean, I've been doing this long enough. I don't want anything like that. I mean, so yeah, I don't know. What do you think the mindset is? Because you touched on something that was interesting. That Kucher, when you watch the video, he actually does grin. Like he hears something beforehand, and he takes his headphone off for a second. He goes, I think we're getting swatted, or I think I'm getting swatted. And he kind of grins and laughs, almost as if like, I don't want to call it an achievement, but he almost looked like he just got an achievement in CSGO. And it's like, bing, you got swatted. Hey. And he was sort of like, oh shit, I can't believe this is happening. That's like how I read the situation. But I don't, why, what do you think it's like, what is the troll here? Is it somebody that hates Kutra? Is it somebody that just thinks it's funny and it's like, it's just a practical joke?
I think it's just somebody who thinks it's funny. That's what it comes across as me. Somebody thinks that's absolutely freaking hilarious, and it's not. It's not funny at all. There's nothing funny about that whatsoever. But somebody seems to think it is. There are people out in the world. Obviously, there's not just one guy who swatted every one of these streamers.
He's been swatted 3 times. I don't know if this is true, but somebody in the chat room is saying he's been swatted 3 times. That is the 3rd time.
Oh my God! Really? In the same joint? Like he was? Where was he supposed to be? Like in the offices for the creatures or whatever they're called?
Yeah, he was in their offices and stuff. So that's the other thing. He was in an office building. So they were going through every room, clearing out each room to check them as they went through them. So anybody else that might have been in that building was now in the path of a SWAT team.
I don't know. And yes, Burdock, I do agree that the laughter that I could be misinterpreting could be because of nervousness. You're absolutely right. I don't know.
That could be right. Laughter is a fair response.
Yeah, people do react in different ways in situations like that, and it's just I could be completely reading that wrong. You're absolutely correct, but I don't know. If any of you guys are watching this show, please, if you have any thoughts, like just this is a bad idea. Like send 50 pizzas to his thing or something. Like do something ridiculous. I mean, at least that's like not really seriously hurting anybody, even though it's costing some people some money. But man, not the SWAT team. Like it's a little too serious. And I mean, it's really going to take till somebody gets seriously hurt. Whether it's an animal or a human being. This just isn't cool. Now. Not on the heels, I think it was before that, actually. The other big things we had going on this week, we had a huge DDoS attack and a bomb threat. So the bomb threat actually went and diverted an American Airlines flight, which CEO of SOE, EverQuest 2, H1Z1, all those games, John Smedley, was on the plane. And do we know for sure, were they targeting his plane because he was on it? I believe they were.
Everything I've seen reported indicates he was the target.
They specifically said in the tweet, because I saw the tweet too, said like at American Airlines, we have reports that there is a bomb located on the plane of Smedley, blah, 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 and they went on and then showed an image of the ticket as well, of which plane it was, and they listed off the exact flight number, where its outbound and inbound was. So they were focusing him, and he was the first one escorted off the plane as well.
Again, man, oh my God. I'm just like, what? Like, I mean, DDoS attacks, like, I'm not saying I understand it, but I'm just like, okay, you want to get out your anarchy, you want to get out, and kind of take down the man. Because this was, now, correct me if I'm wrong, but the DDoS attacks and the American Airlines flight being diverted was connected, and those were connected back to a hacker group known as Lizard Squad, correct?
Yes. I believe so. They were the same ones, yeah.
Yeah, Lizard Squad was claiming to have done all the DDoSing, and then they're the ones who sent out the tweet of the bomb threat to American Airlines. So
it's always hilarious, too, a group like that. It's almost like they just learned how to DDoS something, so they go and DDoS everything they can, and then they come out with, well, it was a political message. We were trying to say, that these games, these companies, they don't have security in place that they need. Guess what? Your DDoS account, your DDoS attack has nothing to do with the security of the freaking accounts. You're not hacking security. All you're doing is overloading login servers. Your message is lost in the fact that what you're doing isn't actually hacking. A DDoS attack is not a hack. You're not compromising security. You're not showing weaknesses in the security system. There's no defense against a major DDoS attack. There's not much a lot of companies can do if you just come out of nowhere and hit them with a DDoS.
Was there any message behind this? So apparently they claimed to DDoS the PlayStation Network, and that went down. Blizzard, League of Legends got hit, and I believe there's one more. What was the other one?
Let's see, PSN, Blizzard, League of Legends. So SOE was claiming they got hit as well.
And SOE, okay. So, I mean, what here? And this is something I'm always trying to understand as well, right? Like if they're trying to come across and there's a message here, what was the message? So no, because I don't feel like the world at large, we all heard about the plane being diverted, but we did not really get your message. So in a sense, isn't the whole protest of the reason of doing this like lost? It's lost because I don't even know what the reason is. Like, I don't know why you did this. I just heard about a plane being diverted.
Yeah. Like I said, they tried. I think they tried to come out later and say it was to show flaws in the security system of all these companies. Again, DDoS. That's not what DDoS does. That doesn't prove that through DDoSing them. And you come across like a bunch of kids who just found a new toy, is what it comes across as. And you just did it because you could, and then later on you were like, oh well, we got all this attention. Let's try to pretend like we were doing this for a reason.
Well, they don't have a agenda here. It looks like I mean, I'm going through some of their tweets, and they're right. I see 23 hours ago. Anybody want to raid some Minecraft servers? And they're just
just randomly.
I mean,
hey, let's just do it. Let's do it. Well,
they just seem to be a bunch of kids who are getting a kick out of this right now.
Some
and of course,
people
they
just
have
want to watch the world burn.
53,000 followers on Twitter, and that's what's got them going to continue doing this.
Yeah, all of a sudden everybody's like, "Hey, look at us! We're popular. Let's do some more cool stuff." No.
All right. Well,
just stop. Please, just stop.
Now, on top of that. Tell me about Feminist Frequency posted this.
Yes.
I guess is it 2-part series of videos or 3? I don't know.
There's several videos she's done. It's this long series, the Kickstarter series called Tropes vs. Women that she's been doing, and she's been doing several videos, and just recently posted a new one that showed how women in video games were used as more of a wallpaper for the game. Is just here's violence, but it's still sexified women violence, and it has no other purpose in the game other than to be there, and to create some kind of slight significant emotion and cause sexual arousal at the same time. And they went through, and she just went over, showed a whole bunch of games like that, and just tried to put her opinion out there, and then the internet went wild.
And wild they went. Where did this go? I mean, it blew up all over Twitter. I mean, she started getting all kinds of crazy death threats and rape threats and just a whole barrage of just nastiness thrown at her.
And it's not the first time either. I mean, she's gotten these ever since the Kickstarter started.
Sure.
But these were just very specific that they've gotten recently with her and stuff. And I think part of that is there was game companies who came out and publicly said that they support this video or they like this video, and they shared it with everybody who follows them and things. So it grew to a larger crowd of people seeing it, watching the video, and then these boys or whatever getting mad and just start slamming her with stuff. And someone found her address and her parents' address, and I think maybe pictures with it too, and just started sending death and rape threats.
She got run out of her own home because she didn't feel safe. I mean, come on, really?
That really is.
You're going to run a person out of their own home.
Yeah. Again, like, I mean, you know, regardless of what side you take, I'm not even gonna touch this one with a 10-foot pole. I'm not going anywhere near this one. But it still doesn't condone that kind of like action, like, you know, just the bullying and you know, death threats and rape threats and pushing, like nothing anyone could say should really, you know, just especially in the gaming industry. I mean, we're talking about like serious issues here, which obviously push buttons because we're talking about like how it spills over into the real world and human beings. That's why people are so passionate on both sides of the fence of this. But come on, people, like let's just, you know, let's get it together. I want to expect more from the internet, but I'm just not really surprised by it. I mean, this is just the internet hiding behind the internet, just to be douchey.
If you have a different opinion than somebody on the internet, then it's war. You can't just have a different opinion than other people. It's all out. You're a terrible person. You need to die, and that's pathetic, man. Human beings on the internet, I swear.
And this obviously isn't the first time that someone's been scared out of their home for this situation. I mean, I don't know if Lacey Green, who does videos on YouTube, nothing with gaming related, but she's had to move, I believe, twice because of people finding her address and sending pictures to her of situations and stuff. Like, these people, like, there are people scaring the hell out of people, and their threats are very real. But nothing happens beyond it because it's internet threat, and I don't think any law enforcement knows how to handle that.
Justin, I really didn't want to do this publicly, but you really got to stop sending me pictures. Like, seriously, man. Like, I mean, we're kind of like friends and all, and I know you got my information, but dude, you're kind of creeping me out lately. So please just stop sending me those pictures of your penis. All right.
Oh, speaking of, he's got a new one for you.
Oh, thank you. Next up, big news. Amazon buys Twitch. Whoa, what?
Woo.
Where did this come from?
Yeah.
So, man, I mean, the Google thing had been going on for a long time. I heard rumors back quite far about them about Google purchasing Twitch. And then out of nowhere, wake up one morning and all of a sudden I hear, hey, the rumor is Amazon's buying Twitch. And then about an hour or two later, a buddy of mine texted me and said, I heard it's a done deal. And then about an hour later, it hit the interwebs, and it's a done deal. Amazon has acquired Twitch for $970 million in cash. It's a good amount of cash, man. I mean, Twitch is like, what, 3 years old? It's like not even an old company. It's a nice little chunk of change for Emmett and the boys.
It's funny when it started from.
Amazon wasn't playing around with this purchase either. They were like, the rumor hit, and then within the end of the day, it was official. And you were like, well, okay then. Because I think a lot of people, as soon as the news started, the rumors hit that morning, you know, Amazon's going to buy Twitch. Everybody was like, okay, we've been hearing Google's going to buy Twitch for weeks now, and nothing's happened. Whatever. People were already blowing it off. Like I said, within an hour, it was like, boom, official that night.
Live stream.
You know, the Amazon VP of Games and the CEO of Twitch were on freaking a stream together talking about it. You're like, holy crap, what just happened?
What's ironic about this whole thing, though, is the people did not blow up against it. Google buying Twitch, internet goes crazy and hates it all.
Well, because we were used to the YouTube stuff, and everybody's got problems with the YouTube algorithms and the three strikes. So, you know, what's it really hate? Who hates Amazon? Does anybody really? I mean, unless you bought a Fire Phone. If you bought a Fire Phone, you probably hate Amazon. But
you're probably upset.
Yeah, you're probably a little bit pissed off about that one.
But in general,
they're saying
Amazon's very consumer friendly.
You know, they're saying that the Fire Phone might be like one of the worst flops in history. Reportedly, I read the other day there's only
there have been some bad ones. And some of those came from Apple.
I've read that there's only like 35,000 sold or something like that. Like, that's nothing. Like, that's ridiculous. Anyway, no. Well, I mean, really, in this arena, in this area, Amazon, like, I guess gamers just feel a little more comfortable because they don't have any really specific things they can pinpoint back to Amazon that really kind of give them ideas about what Amazon may or may not do with Twitch. So it's kind of hard, but yeah.
Well, people are excited about Amazon picking them up, but I think to an extent they're sort of excited for kind of the wrong reasons. You should still be excited, but not for the reasons most people are. Most people are excited just because it's not YouTube and it's not Google, and they don't like all the things YouTube has done. They think that now, you know, maybe all this, muting of the streams and all that might go away, which, by the way, is not happening. But the reasons you should be excited is because, A, Amazon is known, as Justin said, for excellent customer service. And the biggest reason you should be excited is because now Twitch remains a competitor of YouTube, which will drive innovation, which will be better for the consumer, both the viewer and the streamer. If they remain competitive and Amazon starts trying to get into YouTube's sort of quarter of the internet a little more with videos on demand and things like that, that's good for all the rest of us.
Well, the other thing is Amazon's never made a profit, so apparently they're not going to screw us over too bad.
Yeah, Amazon's more about market share than profit margin. They're not necessarily looking for specific percentages of profit they have to have. They're more about how much of this market do we own and make some money.
Have either of you guys, I don't know much about what Amazon does in the video space right now. I haven't been following how that works with Prime and stuff. Do either of you guys know anything about, like, what are they offering and how this sort of fits into their video content delivery sort of mechanism?
So they have their Amazon Prime is basically their Netflix-esque service. It comes with all the other stuff as well, but in terms of video, it's kind of like Netflix. They have made contracts with companies, and they host their videos and stuff on it, and they put them out there. And then of course they also sell you for like $1.99. You can watch this episode that came out today, or for $2.99 you can rent a movie. They actually allow you to rent movies on their service as well, really cheap. As if any movie that just comes out recently or whatever, you can rent it for $2.99 instead of paying $20 to buy the whole thing, and so, which is pretty nice in that. But they're not. They're definitely not the go-to place. They have a couple unique things that Netflix don't have, but most of their stuff is generally older. They are not very up-to-date on content when it comes to TV shows and movies.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see
usually when I'm looking for something, I'll go to Netflix first, and then if it's not on Netflix, I'll move over to Prime and see what's on there.
Going to be interesting to see how Amazon kind of treats Twitch and what sort of happens. If the stream's a little bit laggy today, I apologize for the video quality. If you're watching this, hopefully the audio will still be good, but I am doing this show from my home today, and I've got Time Warner, but you know how that all goes, don't we? So blame Time Warner.
Google is ruining the stream. Stop talking bad about it.
Exactly.
That's what we were told.
All right, next up, this made big waves. People couldn't believe this story. World of Warcraft's next expansions. So they already have. Get this. They already have
with an S.
Warlords. Yes, with an S. Expansions. Not a Z. Warlords is not even out yet, and they already have zones in production for expansions after Warlords. So apparently they've got a couple different options to choose from that they're working on for the next several months, things like that. Then they have about 6 or 7 more different ideas after that. They've got like about 10 years worth of content planned. So did they any sort of they give us any little tidbits of where this could go, or anything to latch onto?
Nothing story-wise. I mean, just the idea that they're already in production of one, and that they've got Warlords coming up. They're already in production of the next one after that, and they're already making a decision story-wise what's going to happen in the one even after that. So 3 expansions from now, they're already making a decision that in the next couple months.
And meanwhile, the people on the live servers are going, "Where's our content?"
No, I think that's why, though. I think that's why they're doing this. I almost want to say that they are ramping up production of next expansions because of how much time they had between the last one and this one. It probably hurt them too much, and they know they got to get it out there faster for the next one.
Yeah, I mean that's I mean you can talk about the game being 10 years old all you want to, and they're dropping subs because of that. But the fact of the matter is, a large portion of those subs they've lost over the past 9 months has been because there's been no content in the last 9 months. There's been nothing significant going on in the game, and people are just like, okay, why am I paying you money now? I'm going to go do something else for a while. They've really got to improve that their ability to keep something going on live servers while we're putting out these expansions, especially if you like right now they're saying we are constantly working on expansions. We're about to put this one out. We're already working on the next one. If you've already gone 9 months without content, just waiting on one expansion, I mean, if I was a World of Warcraft player, I'd be thinking to myself, okay, well, am I ever going to see anything new besides when that expansion drops? Is there going to be raid tiers coming? Something?
There's always tiers, Troy. Always. Well, we'll see. I don't know. I wonder if this is going to really help the process of development and actually speed things up, or if it's more about just paving, a path so where you at least know how to steer the ship for the long term and kind of know where you're going, so everybody gets, sort of in the same mindset, especially story wise and things like that. So maybe it's a combination of the both. Who knows? But I think people were pretty blown away when they even heard that they've got several ideas and zones already cooking. Zones already have zones in production.
Yeah, zones in production really surprised me. Like the fact that they had ideas of kind of where they wanted to go, that wouldn't have really been any kind of news at all. You're like, surely you've got some idea of where you're going after this, or else why are you doing this? But the fact that they've already got zones in production, that was pretty surprising.
And I think, and they are still looking like they're going to do it like once a year. I mean, they said they have 6 or 7 more, plus the 2 that they haven't talked about, the one that's already in development and the one after that. So that's 9, and then the 10th one would be Warlords of Draenor coming out. I mean, you got 10 years worth. You got 10 different expansions you're talking about there. So they're looking at a year or a little bit less than that for each one, it looks like.
We're getting close. We're getting close.
Which would be spectacular.
The time is coming. A lot of good games coming soon. You got Warlords, Destiny. We didn't even talk about Destiny. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. It's so close. It's so close.
If they'll all stop getting delayed,
this
we'll
is
be
true.
playing some good games.
Hey, they can delay for a while because I got Destiny coming, so you guys can delay. That's fine. I'm gonna play some Destiny coming out really soon. We're gonna talk about that really soon. Not today though. So, all right. Next up, another MMO. The car RPG, The Crew,
Oh,
which
man.
we've all been excited.
Oh,
I got my
man,
beta
oh,
key.
man.
I got my beta key today, but I didn't get to
Yes,
download
sir,
it.
I've been
buddy.
Oh,
I've been playing.
Oh
Fantasy
man,
X.
you're missing it. Just get it downloaded. Just
Really?
Just do it. Just do it now. Yes. Oh my God. Yes.
I
It
got
is
all right.
so much fun.
All right, show's over. Gotta go. No, sorry. All right, wait. So you guys tell me all
No,
about it. I'm
so
gonna
the
ask you a bunch
stream
of
turns
questions.
into
So,
Gary playing The Crew.
all right, so
The
you guys don't know
internet
about The
quality has been
Crew.
reduced due to The Crew.
The Crew is an MMO, car driving racing MMO, which is not something that we've really seen. We've seen there's one or two others that tried to do something like this, but they really didn't stick around too long. I can't remember the names off the top of my head. One I think was Need for Speed or something.
Need for
like that.
Speed World.
Need for Speed World, something else tried. They tried to do it, but never really worked. Anyway, The Crew coming out. There's closed beta right now. I think you can get beta keys around here and there. I'm pretty sure. Well, I don't know if this is the last. Is there another beta after this for PC players? Do we know?
That I do not know for certain.
All right.
I'm
Well,
going to assume so because the game doesn't even launch till November.
right. So
Yeah, I would assume so.
I'm pretty sure I'm going to plug right now because we don't want you to pay full price, but don't pay full price for The Crew because we've got
Do not
a
pay
deal.
full price.
So two things. If you go to gboffer.com/The Crew, you can pre-order The Crew and get 20% off right now. I don't know how long it's going to last, but right now we've got 20% off. So you get 20% off. Plus, I don't know if you guys saw this, but I think it was just this week, they announced that if you pre-order it, you're going to get a beta key. So if you don't have a beta key, go pre-order it. You'll get a beta key. So there you go. So one of the things that hit this week with the news that we saw was that everything is running at 30 FPS right now, which is pretty good. I mean, that's I'm okay with that. But
Yeah,
I
that's
think
acceptable.
I think a lot of players were looking for 60. Now they're saying they're shooting for, I believe, 60 on PC at launch, correct? But we don't know if they're actually going to be able to do it. Is that the case?
No, they said they came out and reworded. He reworded himself a little bit later, saying that it will be 60 FPS available at launch
Oh, that's nice.
for PC.
Yeah, even at 30, it's not too bad right now. I mean, not everybody has, super graphics cards that runs every game on Ultra at 60 frames per second anyway. 30 is not bad, but, if they get it up above that, then that's just going to be, all the better, obviously.
All right, so really quickly, who wants to start? I want what's really grabbing you about it? Because I guess when I watch it, so we talked about this in the past few weeks, and I've said I grew up on racing games. I like racing games. I've fallen out a bit with racing games, but play a lot of MMOs. Wondering if this is going to be the right bridge for me as far as getting back into car racing games with the MMO factor, but I've watched streams of it and it looks fun and the customization looks cool, but I guess what I'm still sort of trying to wrap my head around is how do you feel as a player in this world and what's keeping you in there? What's really, does it feel like it's a community MMO thing, or what is it that actually is drawing you in that you guys are having so much fun? Or is it just that, hey, the physics, the cars feel really good, the customization's awesome, and there's just so many people around, it's just crazy?
There's such a variety of things to do, and a lot of that includes, competitive races against either if you want to just play against the computer, or you can go out and race against other people. And, the best feeling in the world is if you've got a car that's not quite high as quality as somebody else, and you end up smoking them in a race. Dude, that's fantastic and tons of fun. And you hit that end and you just won, and you look back and see the other guy's car was 30, 40 points better than yours. You're like, yeah, baby, them skills.
I mean, yeah, it's definitely that variety feeling. The world is huge when you get into it and realize you start driving around, so it just feels huge in the world. But, I mean, I've only played a couple hours. I have already done an off-road police chase where they're chasing me, in a truck going off-road and going through stuff.
Now, these people playing cops,
I've
or
done dirt racing.
Are you playing?
No, this is just part of. This is just part of the PVE side of it.
Yeah, like missions
and certain things. Some parts I've done with people, some parts I haven't. But yeah, so I mean, off-roading. I've done dirt racing. I have done little mini games along with it. Just regular street racing. I have done takedown missions. There's just all different type of things to do, and I've raced against people. I've run across people in the world and just decided to go the wrong way and ram into them on purpose to cause their car to be wrecked.
Done that. It's like, hey, there's a guy. Let's hit him.
Is that like the PvP for the crew?
No, but it's hilarious because you can watch how their car reacts if they're pissed.
They have to pay for it getting it destroyed.
Yeah.
They have to go fix it.
The very first night it went up, I got through the tutorial, then for 4 hours, I kid you not, me and a buddy, all we did is we drove from Detroit to New York, to Washington, to Nashville, to New Orleans, down to Miami, down to the Keys, back up to Dallas, and into the Rocky Mountains, over to Las Vegas. 4 hours, that's all we did. We had a freaking blast. We were doing there's little skill tests and stuff on the road where you can do speed tests or slaloms or precision where you got to go right through the gates and stuff like that. And we did some of those along the way, but just balls out as fast as we could go, all these places for 4 hours, and it was fantastic. The game is pretty too. Like, it's really pretty to look at. It's not like, just realism or anything, but it's a gorgeous game to look at. It's really pretty. It was just fun just doing that. And I think it's what I said when we very first started talking about the crew, what I wanted to do. The very first time I get in it, I just want to get in and drive across the country. Guess what? You can do that. Just get in your car after the tutorial and just go wherever you want to.
And they do a great job with the UI system as well. Like, when I complete something, it's unlike other MMORPGs you play where you have to stop and a little menu pops up and you click OK, take the item or whatever. And this, I'm just driving down the road. It pops up on my screen, but it's not so obtrusive that I can't see what I'm doing. I have to stop. I can just push A on my controller, accept it, look at it, okay, cool, go on. And all the while I was still driving. Like, it doesn't feel like you don't get taken out of the world for the MMO side of it. You still feel that item collecting and everything. You don't lose time playing the game.
So Troy, I mean, I guess I could throw this at both of you guys actually. I mean, both of you guys are big MMO players and RPG players, and I know you guys both love the typical fantasy and sci-fi stuff. I mean, do you really recommend? I think a lot of the MMO players out there probably are kind of scratching their head a little bit, going like, a car racing game? Like, it's not really, especially the MMO players, because we haven't really had, like, do you guys recommend that traditional, just straight up, like, fantasy and sci-fi MMO players, like, go check this one out?
I would say if you're just a fantasy MMO type player, then this probably won't scratch those itches. But there is more story here than I was expecting. It was actually a little off-putting at first because their story. It's like a single player campaign. You're a character, which everybody's the same character. You don't get to create your own character named Alex, and he's making his way up, and his brother gets killed, and you got to make your way up through the street gang and stuff like that. And I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting here's how you drive your car. Now go do your races. And like I said, at first I was like, what is this? This is not what I thought it was going to be. But then I started kind of getting into the story a little bit. And I was like, okay, well, these story missions are actually pretty cool. But I mean, it's not your standard MMO go around do quest type stuff. It's more of something like Watch Dogs where you're kind of following the story along and doing the missions.
So as far as that first experience with the story play, that actually I was like, holy crap, I'm not being thrown into this world and going to kill 10 rats real quick to go grab something. I'm not driving around and picking up tires for my car.
Oh, God, thank God.
It's like I went in and you felt like there was something going on, and you're like, you start at the very beginning of the game in a truck driving off-road being chased by police. That's your starting experience in the game.
And it was amazing.
You're
fantastic.
running away from the police, getting away from them, going straight into a street race, and then you're jumping right away into a street race against people. And the story's done pretty well. The voice acting's done pretty well. The animations and stuff is really good with it. The only thing that threw me off with it, and as Troy mentioned, that it still kind of bothers me, is that everybody in the game is the exact same person. You are that character of that story, of that single-player story side of it, essentially. Everybody is him. There is no variation, which I thought was a little odd. They should have made him be like your leader, and you're his crew.
Yeah.
And then you would have felt more like everyone's different, and you're all part of this crew racing for this guy. But no, you're him. And that's the game.
When you look inside your car, when you look in the windows of your own car, you see that guy, Alex, the character. When you look at everybody else's cars, their windows are all tinted and stuff, so you can't see in and like really see a person there. But I wasn't expecting that much. I thought it was just going to be about the car and roaming around and driving and racing. So, like I said, off-putting it first, but I
Oh
embraced
man,
it
you guys,
pretty quickly.
I don't know, you guys are selling it, man. The chat room's all. I'm watching the chat room, and you got a dog, and they're just like, man, these two RPG guys just really kind of. I'm just kind of crazy. I can't believe that both of you are like as equally excited for this game. Like,
I'm not even that big of a racing game guy, and I had an absolute blast the past 2 nights.
I do suggest, though, people who go into it, do not go into it thinking you've got this MMORPG of you're just going to follow this quest line and it's going to bring you from hub to hub for all your quests and stuff. You're not going to do that. I mean, you're going to have, every once in a while, the person contacts you, it pops up with a kind of waypoint system and says, hey, I need your help here, and then you can go do it right then or you can ignore it. But really just drive around, off-road, on-road, go play the game different ways. There's all these races and other side things. There's plenty of that throughout the entire world, and little achievements and mini games along with it. Like, just go be in the world and just enjoy driving around in it.
And once you've driven around an area and kind of discovered it, you can fast travel between all these little skill points and stuff. So you don't have to drive everywhere if you don't want to. If you just want to, like I did last night, I just did a bunch of skill tests, like jumps and all kinds of stuff, and I was just fast traveling between them because I had already driven around the area and discovered them. And it made it that much more fun without having to do the, oh, this is an awesome slalom, and driving as fast as I can for 5 minutes, and then I spend 10 minutes driving to the next one. No, I just fast traveled to it, and boom, I was into the next thing. And the GPS system, when you make a waypoint, the GPS system works really well. Like, I'm sure there's probably some things here and there that could be improved with it, but overall, for the state that it's in right now, it works really well. If you miss a turn and you keep going, the GPS will adjust and find you an alternate route to get there. You don't have to just necessarily bust a UE if you don't want to, although sometimes that'll be the shorter course.
It is the little things too that makes it kind of cool. Like, it's not like on the ground. Like, usually you get a waypoint in a game, you have this line on the ground that you follow. It's kind of floating in the air, which I thought was odd at first. But I'm like, I actually prefer this better than on the ground. That way your eyes are not focusing down towards the bottom of your screen so much. It's still focusing in front of you while you drive.
The only time that's a pain is when if you're one of those who wants to be like inside your car with your hands on the steering wheel and everything. It's hard to see the GPS like that. But like Justin said, once you get used to that being up there, the trail, that's absolutely the best place for it.
do you guys hear the excitement? These two, I'm gonna sit back and just like let them go because they're just like, oh my god, this and that. Wow, you guys are truly excited. All right,
it's more fun than I was hoping it would be, and I was hoping it would be quite a bit of fun.
I can't wait to get downloading it. I got my key and I'm ready to go. So I was watching chat room and people were saying I'm wondering what the game is. It's called The Crew. That is the name of it. And again, if you guys want to save some money, which if you're going to pre-order it, save some money. Don't pay full price. It's dumb. Go to gboffer.com/thecrew. Take you to a page. Plus, if you don't know anything about the game, you want to find some more about it, just go there. There's a whole write-up on it, video, the other thing kind of. So check that out. gboffer.com/thecrew. Wow. I don't know. I'm just going to leave it at that because you guys just pretty much, I don't know, sold the game. Because
just get it. Just buy it. It's worth it. Just buy it.
Wow.
Just buy it. Get a beta key, download it, and just buy it. Like I've already pre-ordered mine. I pre-ordered mine last night at the end of last night before I got off. I went to got my 20% off deal and I ordered it. I'm just gonna play it.
Crazy. I don't think I've seen you guys this happy about an MMO in a long time. All right, I am gonna go get into downloading it.
It's probably sad.
Especially Justin. Justin's usually hard. Like, he usually comes at it and like all these little nitpicky things, and he's like, I don't like this little thing over here, and I don't like this little thing over here, and he's just like, no, I like it a lot. All right, go check it out. All right, that's it for this week's 200th episode. Wow, you would have thought we would have done something, really super spectacular, other than me being in my house and nothing else. So we got nothing. No music, no intro, no outro. I got a lower third. It says episode 200 though. So.
All right, there you go. That's all you need.
That's all you need.
Episode 200, baby. It's official.
There you go. Episode 200. Justin Kennedy. Follow him on Twitter at JKKennedyTV. And of course, right here on TWIMMO every single week. Noob Fridge. Follow Troy on Twitter at Noob Fridge, NOOB Fridge. And you can follow me at Gary Gannon. Follow Gamebreaker TV, Gamebreaker TV. And we do the show live on Thursdays at 5. We try to anyway. And I should be back in the studio next week. Just couldn't get there this week. So, we'll have like a real setup again. So have a great weekend. How long's the beta up for the crew, by the way?
Sometime tomorrow.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah, the 29th. I don't know what time the 29th, but sometime on the 29th.
Oh, crap. I'm out. All right, see ya.
Later.